Earth is Ghetto podcast opening, 9/29 Monday. Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to Earth is Ghetto with your host, Love. It's Monday, September 29th, and honey, these NFL scores got me questioning some folks' paychecks. Let's talk about it. The Chiefs said, Ravens, fly away home. Mahomes threw 4 touchdowns like he was playing Madden on rookie mode. Baltimore fans, thoughts and prayers. Over in New York, the Giants gave the Chargers their first L of the season, behind a rookie QB named Jackson Dart. Yes, Dart. The boy's name is literally what the Chargers defense was playing, dodgeball. The Steelers and Vikings took their talents to Dublin, Ireland. Steelers won 24-21, and somewhere in the stands, a drunk Irish fan is now waving a terrible towel like it's a Guinness coaster. The Eagles and Buccaneers had a battle of the unbeatens. Philly won 31-25. Eagles fans are already booking Super Bowl flights, and it's week 4, relax. And child, the Texans straight up shut out the Titans 26-0. Tennessee looked like they forgot there was a game today. Somebody call maintenance, because their offense is missing. Tonight, we still got the Dolphins versus Jets and the Broncos versus Bengals, aka Monday Night Football double feature. Will Aaron Rodgers' knees survive? Will Russell Wilson cook? Stay tuned. But one thing's for sure, Earth is still ghetto, and so is some of this play calling.
What's up, y'all? Happy Monday. You heard your girl. Earth is still ghetto, and it's Monday, and we gotta work and all that. I didn't do too much this weekend, y'all. My husband's still putting his Cadillac back together, so I kind of let him rock with that because, you know, he always like, you want to go to dinner or something, but I know he'll just be so worn out and talking about the Cadillac. It's like, no. I actually sat at home, played Call of Duty, watched lots of TV and movies, and just chill. My dog makes it like so hard for me to want to leave the house, and it's really getting bad. I told my sister, I don't know if I'm ever gonna leave the house on the weekend again. Like, for what? People are crazier than ever, and it's just safe at home. Other than that, y'all, my usual, went to the gym. It was decent, and yeah, let's get into what I liked on here. Let's see. Bad Bunny is going to be performing at the Super Bowl. I don't know no Bad Bunny songs. A stowaway was found unalived in landing gear compartment of an American Airlines plane in Charlotte, North Carolina on Sunday morning. This little girl, I would play the music, but I already know it's gonna be something that's gonna be a copyright strike, but she was getting it, honey. She was good. Go baby, go baby. Did a Texas teen stab his twin sister to unalivement while he was sleepwalking? That's the case going on right now.
Get up on all fours. I remember the last time I got freaky with a nigga with the lights on in front of a mirror. Ain't the sight to see, man. It ain't the sight to see because you tooted up on all fours eating this box. And I'm looking at the crack of your ass. Actually, I'm looking inside of your ass. Why is your hole so loose? Why is your booty so damn loose? I left that day with some unanswered questions. Never went back, never looked back, because I ain't never seen no unused booty looking like that. For your booty to be so untouched, that motherfucker look like he's been fiddled and diddled with. You know what I'm talking about? Nah.
What is she smoking? Directors of food pantries say the task of making sure people are fed is getting harder because of diminishing food supplies, increasing demand, and overwhelming reliance on volunteers. Tropical storm Imelda forms over the Bahamas is expected to strengthen off the U.S. South Coast, but there is a big change in its forecasted path. So that QAnon shaman, the buffalo-looking dude, he has filed a $40 trillion lawsuit claiming he is the rightful president. He went on a 29-page complaint and rambles about that. At least 4 unalived following Arizona flooding. They put this robot next to this leopard to see what he was going to do, and the leopard wasn't going for it. The leopard looks scared. The leopard don't know how to act with this. He's like, it doesn't have a head. Leopards are scary. So I normally don't post nothing Kanye because he's clearly crazy now, but he compiled a list of all the individuals he feels betrayed him, and on his list was Kim Kardashian, iShow Speed, Diddy, Ty Dolla $ign, Harriet Tubman, Northwest, Pusha, Freddie Gibson, Cootie, Curious George, Donald Trump, Pete Davidson, Patrick Starr, LeBron James, King Von, Playboy Cardi, James Murray, and Adele. Yeah, Kanye still need his meds. Multiple victims were reported following a pew-pewing in a church in Michigan. There was a lot of crazy stuff happening this weekend. New York City Mayor and Trump puppet, this person says, Eric Adams has announced that he is ending his re-election bid and dropping out of the mayoral race. Steelers backup QB Skylar Thompson suffered minor injuries after getting jumped and robbed in Dublin. That's crazy. Neil was doing his little show this weekend and somebody hopped up on stage. Neil gave him that old man shove. He gave him that old man shove. Multiple people were, we just talked about that. With nothing but grit, muscle, and iron jaw, a hugely popular Egyptian wrestler geared up for an extraordinary challenge and a world record attempt at pulling a 7-ton ship across the water with a rope held by his teeth. George Hardy, one of the last original Tuskegee Airmen, passed away at 100. For the 8th consecutive year, Finland was ranked first as the happiest country on earth. Finland's got a good secret. So, who knew cicadas pee? I didn't. And they said people mistake it for summer rain. A storm system officially called Tropical Depression 9 as of Saturday morning is closing in on the Atlantic Ocean. When it comes to dementia risk, no amount of alcohol is safe, according to a new study. Jay-Z's grandmother was giving a speech at her 100th birthday party. She got a big old cake. For the 8th consecutive year, Finland, we talked about that. At least 3 people were unalived and 8 others injured after a person on a boat fired shots at a waterfront bar in coastal North Carolina by the city of Southport. Thieves who made off with 12,000 bottles of craft whiskey in a rare U.S. liquor heist this summer did more than just snag nearly $1 million worth of products. Selena's wedding dress reveal looks really pretty. Guess it was an AI dress, go figure. Alaska plans to start distributing to residents the annual dividend payment derived from the state's $83 billion oil wealth fund, as they should. A 19-year-old gymnast who was projected to qualify for the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles has passed away after suffering a neck injury in training, really sad. Nas's $5 billion casino resort project in Queens has been approved just 1 week after Jay-Z's offer was denied. Florida teen's Amber Alert turns out to be false. Authorities say that Caden Spite lied about his abduction. PCAC set to deploy troops to Portland. The FBI has fired agents photographed kneeling during the 2020 racial justice protests that followed the unalivement of George Floyd. This territorial goose swooped down on a man at a golf course. Birds are just jerks, dude. But he must have been Vite's babies or something. He couldn't even get the club out in time. Iran has increased construction at a mysterious underground site in months since the U.S. and Israel pummeled its main nuclear facilities. Rick Moranis has officially returned to acting as production has started on Spaceballs 2. That'd be the only way I watch it, is to see Rick Moranis again. Delta is replacing power units on more than 300 Airbus jets in an effort to keep toxic fumes from leaking into the aircraft. Alabama man convicted of unaliving a store clerk in 1997 is executed by nitrogen gas. South Korea's military says it fired warning pew-pews to drive away North Korean merchant ship that briefly crossed their disputed Western Sea boundary. After an unalignment attempt, doctors told Ben's Bullshins their son needed residential mental health treatment. Their insurance said that level of care was not medically necessary. The government of the Indian Ocean of Madagascar on Thursday imposed a nighttime curfew following protests which saw police use rubber pew-pews and tear gas to squash demonstrations over the ongoing water and power cuts. Family unearths nearly 3-carat brown diamond in an Arkansas state park. Tekashi 6ix9ine, who has faced years of legal battles and stints in jail, was ordered to be held on home detention after a fight at a Florida mall that broke the conditions of his probation. He needs to just stay home because he stays still getting in trouble. Sarah Jane Moore, who tried to unalive President Gerald Ford in 1975, passes away at 95. So Houston's got a problem. They have had, I don't know if they got a Smuriel unaliver, but another body has been pulled from a Houston bayou. This is the 6th in just 2 weeks. Police say they don't believe that it's connected, but I don't see it making news in either. Hong Kong lawmakers have passed a bill to ban inadequate housing in subdivided apartments. Don't be eating that heat and beef pasta meals at Walmart. Just don't eat these preheated meals anyway. A manhunt is now underway in Oregon for an unalignment suspect who was mistakenly released from prison, with officials calling the error unacceptable. Did nobody double check him? Polar bears take over an abandoned research station in Russia. Just hanging out. DNA evidence has linked Robert Eugene Brasher, a man that's no longer alive, to the 1991 unaliving of 4 girls at a Texas yogurt shop. That series is on HBO Max now, and they couldn't find who did it, but now they say they figured it out. Despite years of congressional hearings, academic research, whistleblowers, and testimony from parents and teenagers about the harms of Instagram has failed to protect children with its woefully ineffective safety measures, according to a new report. A Republican member of the South Carolina House, who prosecutors say used the screen name Joe Biden 69, agreed Friday to plead guilty to distributing abuse material involving children. U.S. President Donald Trump has asked the Supreme Court to decide whether he can end birthright citizenship. Australian scientists tested the strength of a bite-resistant wetsuit by allowing sharks to chomp the materials at sea and found that the suits can help keep swimmers safe. I might have to give me one of them. I mean, it'll be hot, but if it keeps you from getting bit by something, it's worth it. South Korea's military says it thought we already talked about that. Somebody said, imagine being 2 weeks clean off cocaine and seeing this in the sky. That's crazy. The Nobel Peace Prize Committee announces that Donald Trump has been permanently disqualified from all future wars due to him renaming the U.S. Defense Department Department of War. Now they saying it's not real. Military officials are drawing up options to target drug traffickers inside of Venezuela, and strikes within that country's border could potentially begin in a matter of weeks. After this high school Kentucky banned cell phones, they saw a 67% increase in students checking out library books. Former high school football player who unalived 4 people inside of a Manhattan office tower that houses the headquarters of NFL. Pretty much they saying he has CTE. A federal immigration officer who shoved an Ecuadorian woman to the floor in Manhattan court is being relieved of his current duties.
Room for a night of it's 2:35 a.m. and a Las Vegas Strip hotel surveillance system captures 25-year-old Brian Altamirano Solano walking hand in hand with 2 women to his hotel room for a night of fun. Those 2 women, 21-year-old Erica Covington and 22-year-old Ariana Taylor, had just met Brian minutes earlier in the valet area of the hotel. Less than 15 minutes later, another camera captured Erica and Ariana running through a hallway carrying the bag that Brian was seen wearing earlier. 8 hours later, housekeeping entered the hotel room and discovered Brian's lifeless body. Police started an investigation into the crime and found 2 explicit videos on Brian's phone that included Erica and Ariana, which led to the arrest of the 2 women. Although it's unclear which of the 2 did exactly what, it is believed that one of the 2 women shot Brian. They both robbed him of his personal belongings and then fled the scene.
I deeply, genuinely apologize for the grief and the pain that has been brought upon you guys' family.
They were both sentenced to 10 to 25 years, with the exact time served being determined by the parole board when they are eligible to be released in 2035.
Now, Brian, you meet 2 girls outside and you take them to your room. Not smart. Retired New York financier Howard Rubin and his former personal assistant have been charged in a federal indictment with running years-long trafficking ring. This was going viral in the Minnesota Vikings going to Ireland. They were going first class, and then you had the Steelers were just riding coach. But who won the game? I can't even remember. Radio Shack's new owners hit with a $12 million Ponzi scheme lawsuit. Adele turned down the Super Bowl halftime offer. Electric vehicle manufacturer Tesla urged the Trump administration not to repeal vehicle emission standards or the long-standing U.S. finding that greenhouse gas emissions endanger human health. 500-pound Detroit rapper Dank DeMoss settled her Lyft lawsuit after being denied her ride. The driver was fired, she bought a van, and now rolls with her own chauffeur. Dank said, "Where the bank at?" Come on, Dank, get on up there. Dank, I want you to live long, honey, because I feel like you got some money that you're going to make. James Comey's posted a video saying that his family has known for years that there are costs to standing up to Donald Trump, but he couldn't imagine his life any other way. And he said he would not live on his knees. Shopping for eggs in the grocery store. Supposed to read the label and you'll see where it came from. Usain Bolt says he gets out of breath from walking upstairs and no longer runs due to a torn Achilles he suffered. Bolt says he spends his time with his children. Bolt said, "I ain't running no more like that." Alright, lots of news. It was lots of news and lots more came through. It was a busy week end. The Tina Turner statue was unveiled in Tennessee. A lot of people wanted to know why the wig was so big, but It doesn't look bad. Will Tina come see it? I don't know. No, Tina's not with us anymore, I think. Don't give me the line. Don't give me the line, y'all. Somebody said, I can't believe caskets cost $10,000. Y'all can just put me in my sister's room. Not my sister's room. What's the weird smell you secretly love? When I was younger, I used to love the smell of gas. Now I don't. What was the pinnacle of wealth to you as a child? I mean, as a kid growing up, people that had like a garage and like lived behind those fancy like subdivisions that was called like the hills or the valley or whatever. I always thought those people had money. A lot of the stuff I've already read. Yeah, this was crazy. So, police pull a pew pew out on Bud Crawford during a traffic stop. And the craziest part is he was there celebrating a parade that they threw for him after winning the boxing the championship. It says just hours after being celebrated with a parade and birthday festivities in his hometown, Crawford was pulled over in downtown Omaha and held at Pew Pew Point during a traffic stop. The incident quickly went viral and sparked outrage, forcing Omaha Mayor John Ewing to publicly respond. Pretty much, he said they're going to investigate it, but it's like he's from Omaha and he going to his own hometown to be celebrated, and just crazy. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Your boss accidentally overpaid you $20,000. Are you giving it back? I need to ask them some questions because my job is too good to be stealing money. Unfortunately, I can't do it. It ain't worth it for $20,000. No, I'm not risking my job for that. All right, y'all. Let's get into my story times. I read most of that news. Actually, this lady was talking about this movie that I wanted to see, Unspeakable Sins. Okay.
First date ever, aka the worst date I have ever been on and hopefully will ever be on. This is crucial context. I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, so I was not allowed to date in school, never had a boyfriend, never had a first kiss, none of that in school ever. So when I left the religion at 18, one of the first things I did was download a dating app because I just felt so behind. I felt like everyone had their first kiss. I felt like everyone was hooking up already. I felt behind. So I was like, I need to do this for me. I was in my empowerment stage. I was like, this needs to happen. So I download all the dating apps. I matched with this guy on Bumble. Oh god, just thinking back on it, it's bringing up all these old feelings. This was 4 years ago, and I kind of trauma blocked half of this shit out, so bear with me here. I had very, very low self-esteem, so I was very intimidated by men. I didn't think men would ever like me, never thought I would be able to have a boyfriend, never thought anyone would ever love me. Whatever. All that to say is this is not someone that I would pick out in a line of men. He was like a gamer dude. If you're a gamer guy, this is food coloring. If you're a gamer guy, no shade to you, but just not my type personally. We're talking, this dude tries to mold me into his perfect gamer girlfriend. He makes me download Discord. I don't know anything about gaming, games, anything like that. I never heard of Discord, but he makes me download Discord. He shows me how to play League of Legends. So for about a month, we're just talking on Discord, getting to know each other, and our humor is there, but like, looking back, it's like, oh girl, you could have done so much better. Anyways, about a month into talking online, he's like, okay, we should meet up. I'm like, cool. So he's like, I'm gonna take you to Cheesecake Factory. Oh, by the way, I was 18, this man, I'm pretty sure it was either 23 or 24 at the time. Keep that in mind. Looking back, I wouldn't have done any of this, okay? Looking back, I'm such a different person right now, but at the time, the girl that I was then is not the girl that I am now. The girl that I was then, she was so desperate. Poor girl, she was so desperate for any male attention, for anybody to love her, for anything. Okay, I'm like, cool, let's go to Cheesecake Factory. The day of, I'm getting ready, I'm excited, I got my best little fit on, I'm doing my little makeup, and then I get a text from him that's like, hey, forgot to mention, my friend is coming from out of town, and he's staying with me, because it's his birthday. Would you mind if he, comes to Cheesecake with us, and eats with us? Little old me is like, you know what? Sure. Your friend that I don't know you, but I'll definitely don't know your friend, can come with us on our first date, first time ever meeting, to Cheesecake Factory. Cool. Type shit. He's like, awesome. Oh, and also, by the way, I used to suck his dick in college. Now I'm looking for the cameras, cause what? Wait, one more time, rewind. I used to suck his dick in college. Obviously, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't a good idea. Then he automatically is like, no, it's okay. It was a while ago, and we don't have feelings for each other. It was just a really hard time, and we were both stressed. We were both stressed, and it was platonic, and we just weren't getting any bitches, so we sucked each other's dicks one night. So little 18-year-old, very, very naive me is like, you know what? Okay, let's think about this. It was a while ago, he says they were stressed. He says they were stressed, that all they had was each other. Just two bros helping each other out. Right. So he was like, I totally understand if this is like a turn off for you, I get it. But I just wanted to let you know, just so I could like have a good conscience going into this. I'm like, cool. You know what? Sure. To hell with it. You know what? Because we're just doing shit at this point. Sure. Again, I would never do this. 22-year-old me would never do this. But 18-year-old Lil me, she was like, you know what? I am gonna be okay with it, just so I can go on this date. I just want to push myself. I want to go on a date, and that's literally all I want to do is go on a date. So I went with it. I was like, okay, thank you for telling me. Let's still go on a date. He's like, cool, I'm gonna pick you up. I walk outside. I'm all excited. I'm like, yeah, I'm going my first date. Woo! He pulls up. I see a sedan with not one man, not two men, which is what I was kind of expecting because it was gonna be him and his friend. No, not two men, not three men, 4 men inside of this Toyota Camry, Honda Civic, whatever the fuck it was. 4 men come to pick me up for my first date with this dude that I found on Bumble. I open the door. I see him in the driver's seat, the friend that he sucked his dick. In the passenger, 2 men in the backseat. I'm like, hey, who are all these folks? And he's like, yo, here's my friends. They all came to see my other friend that I sucked his dick in college that I just told you about 30 minutes before a date. They all came to see him for his birthday, and we're all gonna go to dinner together. What? I'm sorry, what? 22-year-old JL wouldn't do this, but 18-year-old JL got in the car still. I wish I could time travel and slap myself across the head, because what are you doing? But I get in the car with 4 random men. Multiple times in the story, I could have have been harmed. I could have been greatly harmed, but it happened in the past, so that's why I'm telling you guys this. Oh, I get in the car. Now, there's a Cheesecake Factory about 20 minutes from me. So I'm under the impression that's the one we're going to. So this man gets on the highway, he's driving, and he keeps driving. I'm like, all right, where the fuck are we going? Because Cheesecake Factory was about 3 exits ago. He's like, oh yeah, so we're actually gonna go to the one close to my house. I'm like, close to you, where's your house? He says, oh, Kennesaw. Kennesaw? For those of you who don't know, I live in Atlanta. Kennesaw is about an hour away from Atlanta. So I'm like, oh, cool. So I'm in a car with 4 fully grown men driving about an hour away from my house to go to Cheesecake Factory on a first date. We're all caught up. All right, we finally get to Cheesecake Factory. It takes a second for us to be seated. Oh no, wait, I forgot about this. Oh my god, we pull up to Cheesecake Factory. Everyone gets out the car. I officially like shake everyone's hands. It's so awkward and weird thinking about it. Then I hug him, and then it's like weird. And then the trunk starts opening. I look. Another man crawls out the trunk. They're all laughing. They're like, oh my god, dude, I can't believe you survived. I'm like, what the fuck? 5 men with me at Cheesecake Factory on a first date. We enter the Cheesecake Factory. It takes us a while to get seated because there's 6 of us. It's not even a date anymore. It's just a birthday party, and I'm just some random girl that is there too. I order a pasta. He ordered a juicy steak. Remember that for later. It's me, him, his friends over here. It's so awkward because they're talking about games and shit I don't know about and college. Apparently they went to college together, and I'm sitting there and I'm just trying to have some sort of interaction with a man I'm on a date with. There's a family behind us. And there's a little baby. I start doing this to the little baby because I'm like, I don't want to talk to these people. I don't know any of you, and I want to go home. I'm talking to the little baby. I'm like, hey, little baby. The baby's laughing. My date looks back, sees I'm talking to the little baby. He's like, oh, that's so cute. I love a woman with maternal instincts. You would make such a good mother for my children. I don't think so. What? At this point, my face is sun-dried tomato red. I want to go home more than anything in the world. I was like, you know what? Maybe this is just. I couldn't even tell you my thought process at the time because like me right now would never do any of this. I don't know what was going on in that fucking little girl's brain. But I stayed there. The check comes out. He's like, oh, let's split it. Didn't pay for my food. So I'm like, cool. I finally get to go home. He's like, actually, let's go back to my house, guys, so we can pregame. Pregame what? My bad. I forgot. This is actually your bestie's birthday celebration, and you don't give a fuck about me. Right, so we go back to his house. I'm in this random man's house. I meet his lesbian mom. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does. Anyway, yeah, they're drinking. I've never had an alcoholic beverage before. I'm 18 years old. Like, I've been in Jehovah's Witness my entire life. I don't know what's going on. I'm sitting on the couch while they're pre-gaming. He tries to, like, start a conversation with me a little bit. I'm on my phone scrolling. I'm looking at Ubers. Because at this point, like, I don't even need a ride home. I want to go home. But I'm looking at Ubers, and it's rush hour, and I'm an hour away from my house. So the Uber is costing $75 to $80. At 18, I don't think I had a very low paying job at the time. I could not afford to pay $80 to go back home. So I'm literally stuck at this random man's house. I think he saw like how uncomfortable I was. So he's like, hey, why don't we like go out on a walk? There's a trail outside my house. I'm like, you know what? Sure, fuck it. Sure. I don't have anything to lose at this point. Fuck it. So we go. At this point, the sun is starting to set a little bit. So I'm like, you know what? Like, honestly, like, I would rather just go home. I don't really want to be like out walking with some random man. He's like, no, it's okay. I understand. Bro pulls out a pocket knife and hands it to me. He's like, here, take this. If you're feeling comfortable, you can just whip it out. He was a very tall man, definitely 2 times my body weight. And he gave me this puny ass little pocket knife. Looking back, I'm like, bro, that wouldn't have done shit if this man actually went to harm me. That wouldn't have done shit. But my stupid ass took the pocket knife and wandered into this trail with this random man. We're walking, we're talking. He tries to hold my hand. I don't want to hold your hand. I'm telling him all the shit about like my shit that I got going on. He's talking about his shit that he's got going on. And he's just all around a fucking weirdo. Bro tells me he has a breeding kink. I don't know what that is because I'm naive. I'm like, all right, don't know what that means. So he's telling me about it while we're in the dark in the middle of the forest in this walking trail. I'm like, oh, I fucked up. I shouldn't be here right now. This is a bad decision. So I'm like, you know what? I have to go home. I just cut him off. I was like, I have to go home. He's like, oh, all right, okay, I'll walk you back. We turn around and he's like, wait, before that, let me just. And then he swoops in, holds my face like this, and starts shoving his tongue in my mouth. That was my first kiss, by the way. And you know what? Because he just had a juicy steak from Cheesecake Factory. It tasted like steak. It tasted like steak and garlic and onions and tongue and gross. And I remember pulling back and spitting because I'm like, ew. It's so awkward at this point. I'm like, take me home. We get out the trail. We're back in his house at this point. And I'm like, okay, can you please drive me home? And he's like, yeah, I can in a second. Let me just like have some fun with my buddies. You know, he came all the way from out of town. He's here and all of our friends are here. I'm like, you know, boosh. It's all right. I'm gonna just call an Uber. At this point, the Uber's a little lower. It's about $50. So I call myself a $50 Uber 1 hour away from my house. I get in that Uber and I never look back. I pay for the Uber, by the way. Naturally. I naturally pay for the Uber.
I'm just glad she made it out alive. That was a long video, but it got crazier. I normally would have skipped it, but thank God she's alive.
What the Oh my.
Bro was lit.
If this grocery singing a freeway of love in my pink Cadillac. I said, wait a minute. Oh, no. You know this song Freeway of Love is playing? Yeah. Is Rita, when she talks about her pink Cadillac,
You know what she's talking about. What pink Cadillac you talking about?
hold on, let me see what Cheryl got to say. When Aretha Franklin's talking about her pink Cadillac, is she talking about what I think she's talking about?
Yes, she is.
8 years old.
I didn't know either. I thought she was talking about. I didn't know that SWV, when they said they was going downtown, I didn't know they was not talking about like going downtown, like, you know, where the buildings are. I never knew they was talking about that. And now Pink Cadillac.
Come here, Dean Giants. I've been waiting for this.
What?
Come here. Why you moving? Yeah.
What are you
Stay
trying
right
to do,
there.
bro?
Stay right there.
Jiu-jitsu skills.
Bro, my grandma's literally driving on the wrong side of the road. Look, that's where we're supposed to be driving. We've got cars coming right at us, Grandma. There's our turn, though. We're close. This is scary. Okay, we made it to our turn. Grandma, you're an animal. Bro,
The way he was so calm is crazy. Like, with him and Grandma both on something.
Grandma. I'm talking on the ring camera. I'm coming. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, Grandma.
Why you got your grandma in this? It's the long hallway. It's just everything. She's got her back to the wall. She's clearly scared. This is too much for her.
My boyfriend got my little sister pregnant. Yeah, while we were dating. My little sister is 3 years younger than me, and we've always had a pretty tense relationship. And that's because she's always wanted to copy everything I do. And not just when she was really young, it still happens to this day. But she wasn't copying me in a way of like admiring me. She would copy me because she was in some kind of competition with me. Like whatever I did, she wanted to do it better. If I had an outfit, she wanted to wear the same one, but style it better. If I did an activity, she wanted to join the same one and be better at it than me. That's how it's been our entire life. And I very quickly noticed that when I started dating, she started flirting with all of my boyfriends, and not subtly. She'd be like, you know, imagine if we would have met first. Like, you probably would have been dating me. But obviously you can't because you're with my sister, but like, if you hadn't met her, right? That's weird. That's just so disrespectful. I would bring this up to her and tell her that it made me really uncomfortable and I thought that it was weird. She'd be like, oh my gosh, you're so dramatic. You're so jealous. And my parents would say the same thing. They're like, Kelsey, it's your little sister. What are you talking about? She's obviously joking. Sorry, I don't think that's funny. And I have a pretty good sense of humor, if I'm being honest. So it just got to the point that I stopped bringing the guys that I was dating around my family because it just wasn't worth the drama for me, which is really sad because I'm really close with my parents, but I knew that if we went to any family holiday, she was gonna be there and it was always gonna just start a fight. So I stayed away. Things changed when I started dating my most recent boyfriend because it started getting more serious. We were dating for over a year and I knew that I needed to bring him around my family because that's what you have to do. You know what I mean? Also, I stupidly thought that maybe somehow my sister had matured and wouldn't act up anymore, but I was wrong. The first time she met my boyfriend, one of the first things she said is she's like, oh my gosh, if Kels ever misbehaves or treats you wrong, just let me know. I'll fix it. I'll take care of it. Don't worry. I always have your back. I was like, this is weird. Like, this is just a weird conversation you're having. She was also just being really touchy with him, wanting to always sit by him, was grabbing his arm, laughing at all his jokes. She was flirting with him. Like, I know what flirting looks like, okay? And I know what her flirting looks like because she's my little sister and I've known her whole life. Well, I pull her aside and I'm like, yeah, we're not gonna do this, okay? We're not gonna continue to do this. I can't. I'm tired. You gotta just be normal and stop flirting with all my boyfriends. And again, she was like, oh my gosh, I did not realize how insecure you were. Like, it's actually really sad that I'm the younger sibling and I'm just so much more confident, so much more self-assured. Like, if you were acting like this with my boyfriends, I would not be upset at all. Okay, well, you've never had a boyfriend, and there's a reason for that. I'm just gonna put that out there. About a month after this initial meeting, my little sister calls me and tells me that she has amazing news and that she's actually gonna be moving states and moving to the city that my boyfriend and I live in. Great. I was so excited for that. And not only was she moving to our city, she was gonna move into the same apartment complex that we lived in. Even better for me. So she moves to our city, moves into our apartment complex, and suddenly she needs help with absolutely everything. She doesn't have a car, so she needs to be driven everywhere. She needs help having everything built. She needs help with all the moving stuff. And guess who she asks for all of it? Yeah, you're right, my boyfriend. Coincidental? I think not. And it got to the point that they were hanging out, and I didn't even know they were hanging out. He would get home, and I'd be like, where were you? And he was like, I was with your sister. I was helping her do X, Y, Z. I was like, wait, what? What do you mean you were with my sister? Why didn't you tell me? And he's like, oh, I didn't think it was a big deal. She just needed a favor. And so I went to help out. Like, she lives in our building. No, okay? He was making it seem like it was innocent. It wasn't innocent. It gets to the point that this is the biggest issue in our relationship. We're constantly arguing about it, where I'm like, I want you to stop spending so much time with my sister because you already know the previous issues that are there. And he was like, it's your family. I'm just trying to be a good guy. I'm like, okay, sorry, your loyalty is to me, and I'm asking you to establish this boundary, and you won't do it, and it's weird. And we were just going back and forth for weeks about it. Finally, one day, my little sister comes to my apartment while my boyfriend and I are watching a movie, and she just looks so upset. And I'm like, what's wrong? Like, what is going on? And that's when she tells me that she is pregnant, which I'm shocked about because she just moved to the city. I didn't know she was dating anyone. The only guy that she's been hanging out with is my boyfriend. See, at the time I didn't put that together because I thought that there was no way that he would do that to me, but yeah, just wait. But the person who was even more shocked was my boyfriend. He looked like he was about to projectile vomit. I was like, wow, they obviously have gotten really close. He is really concerned about her. And that's when I start asking her, I was like, okay, who's the father? Whose baby are you having? And she gets really quiet. She's like, I don't know. Like, I don't really want to tell you. I was like, why are you being weird about this? And obviously we know why she was being weird about this. Then she starts looking at my boyfriend. She's like, I mean, like, are you going to tell her or am I? She fully came in here ready to expose him, and he had no idea. They was just all going down right there in my living room. Well, I look at him. He looks absolutely sick. I'm looking at her, and low-key, she's smirking a little bit. She's happy about this because, again, everything's a competition, and apparently she won. She took my man. That's what she wanted this whole time. And I look at him. I'm like, no, please tell me that she's lying. She's making this up. And he can't even get any words out. I can see it on his face that, yeah, it's him. He's the father of this baby. So I absolutely lose it. I'm like, what are you even talking about? And he has the audacity to say to me, well, I know I cheated, but I only half cheated because it's your sister. You shared DNA. So it's like, it's not as bad if I was cheating with someone else. It's like, it's half cheating. No! I'm sorry. What man logic is that? I cannot. It's way worse to cheat with somebody's sibling than with a stranger. So obviously I kick him out. I'm like, you have somewhere else to sleep in the exact same building, so don't even feel bad about it. I don't want to see your face ever again. I look at my sister, I'm like, I don't want to see your face ever again either. My ex-boyfriend is now texting me 24/7, apologizing, saying it was a mistake. It only happened once, which I don't believe based on how much time they spent together. And my family keeps texting me, it's your little sister, give her grace. People make mistakes. So, people make mistakes? That was not a mistake. That was a betrayal.
That kid gonna be around forever. That ain't a mistake.
What do we do?
This is so funny and scary at the same time because this thing kind of happened with my husband in his boat, and I would never get in another boat, but let's see. Obviously she's gonna live. He's just sitting there smiling. She went from telling her mom and dad I love her to mud in her shoes. I'm glad she had a safe ending. All right, y'all, that's the show. We'll be back tomorrow. Y'all stay blessed. Inspirations on the way.
Let them cook. That's cool. You got a Bible on that? I do. John 21, verse 4. But when the morning had now come, Jesus stood on the shore. Yet the disciples did not know that it was Jesus. Then Jesus said to them, children, have you any food? No. And he said to them, we've done this before, cast the net on the right side of the boat, and you will find some. So they cast, and now they were not able to draw it in because of the multitude of fish. Oh, I recognize this. Therefore, the disciple whom Jesus loved said to Peter, it is the Lord. Now Simon Peter heard that it was the Lord. He put on his outer garment, for he had removed it, and plunged into the sea. But the other disciples came in the little boats, for they were not far from land, about 200 cubits, dragging the net with fish. Now watch this. Then as soon as they had come to land, they saw a fire of coals there and had fish on it and bread. Jesus said to them, bring some of the fish, which you caught. Okay, let me tell you my problem with this. Y'all got any fish? Lord, you know they don't.
I had to wait 6 months to get my hands on this thing. This is the weighted Highland cow.
You sovereign. No. Bet. Cast on the other side. They're bringing this fish, but as they get to the beach, fish is already being cooked. Let them cook. I know you're not catching anything. I already got your appetizer prepared. You gonna bring more. This is just an appetizer. The whole time, like, did y'all not see smoke? Did y'all not smell the tilapia? Did y'all not see that Jesus was cooking? Or is it sometimes you're so caught up with what you're doing, you can't even see that he's cooking? But by the time they got to the beach, they saw that Jesus already had a fish fry. I'm in the Bible. He had already prepared the tilapia. He had already prepared the food. I'm trying to get us to understand. Trust his timing. Let him cook. Let him cook. Not just your blessing. Let him cook the rawness out of you. Let him cook the doubt out of you. If you're like me, battle with control issues, this means I don't trust you. So my prayer has been, Lord, teach us to trust you. The Israelites, the first generation of Israelites, they didn't trust God in the wilderness. And they died there. And I don't want to serve a people who miss out on everything God has for you because you don't trust him. If we could just stand for prayer. For all of us who battle with trusting the Lord, we want to go before the Lord, the hands raised, our eyes closed, just in surrender. This is the moment right now. You let the word absorb in your heart. Don't dismiss it. Don't check your phone. Don't look at your neighbor. Don't worry about your clothes. None of that right now. Lean in this moment so that we can have hearts that trust the Lord.
God, forgive us. Forgive us, God, for the times we elevated our desires over your plans and your strategies and your desires. Forgive us. For the times that we've created our own agendas, our own plans, and asked you and almost demanded that you would bless our plans over yours. Forgive us. Today, God, we ask that you create in us a clean heart and renew a right spirit. A spirit that trusts you. A spirit that trusts your heart when we can't trace your hand. A spirit that trusts that you are the omnipresent God. You are omniscient. You are omnipotent. You are everywhere all at once. You know our end from our beginning, and you have the power to do exceedingly abundantly above all that we can ask or think, according to the power that works in us. Your word says to trust you with all of our heart and lean not to our own understanding. God, help us today to no longer lean to what we understand, but help us to lean in the understanding of knowing who you are. For without faith, it is impossible to please you. For he that comes to God must first believe and know that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. God, help us to be reminded of who you are, that you have not changed your mind about our future. God, and I speak strength to the waiter today. Those who have trusted you, who are trying to do the best that they know how and feel exasperated and exhausted, God, breathe strength into the waiter today, God. Those who are trusting you and trying to hold on, enduring hardship like a good soldier, God, let strength be their portion this week. Holy Spirit, breathe strength into this room. Help us to know that we will reap if we faint not. We come against the spirit that will try to cause us to faint prematurely. Help us to stay committed to your process, committed to your plans, to trust that you know exactly what you're doing. God, and I pray that this week, God, that you would help us to align our plans with yours, that we would trust your pace, that we won't try to go ahead of you, that we will no longer delay. We break the spirit of procrastination, that the things that you place on our hearts and our minds, that we would step up and step fully into, that we would no longer delay, thinking that we have time. Forgive us for misusing time, and help us to maximize it from this day forward. And with every eye closed, as we begin to set up a moment for those of us who may have thought that we've had time and have put off our relationship with Christ, now that you have heard this word, you are accountable to what you have been exposed to. So for those of us who need to make Christ our Lord and Savior, this is the perfect moment for us to say, no longer will I waste time. No longer will I try to get all the things out of my system, and no longer will I elevate my desires over what God wants. Today we make a decision. For when you hear his word, harden not your heart. So with every eye closed, as we respect this moment, I just want us all to repeat after me. Jesus, I need you. Forgive me of every sin, the things that I did that I shouldn't have done, and the things I didn't do that I should have. Create in me a clean heart and help me to align with your plans and your purpose. Forgive me for making my timeline an idol in my life. And today, help me to surrender my calendar, my timeline, my plans to you. Today, I make you Lord over my life, over my thoughts, over my actions, and over my process. And today, I declare I am yours forever. Amen. Can we just bless God if that's